the first topic because this was a tweet that came out earlier today from tmos.eth. And his tweet was, some people really bought wax NFTs. And I want to throw this directly to Ronan. This is a little bit of a slight at wax NFT buyers. But it doesn't seem like he, in Arclegger saying it right there, 2019, it was the best platform. OpenSea was a joke. A lot of us bought wax NFTs, so I just want to put that slander there right up front, and I want to know what you have to think about, and I have to tell all the newbies about wax.
Wax was it was a hell of a time in the space, man. I had a really good conversation with a friend, and we talked about like the first big drop, which was the what was it the Garbage Pail Kids, and we talked about how that was like this just really cool time because the packs were cheap. They were, $10 for a single pack, $25 for like what they called a mega pack. And what was really interesting is that they sold out in less than 24 hours. They didn't really expect to do that. And the next 2 weeks I spent like sleepless nights. And this is like a huge like part of the story is like, how I got into NFTs. And I literally, it was like 3-4 hours a night, right? And you're in Telegram because Telegram was where everybody was at the time. And we talked a lot about how the wax almost like was brought up by the community. When you want to talk about really like, a community taking charge of like an entire project, right? You look back at those times, the community helped launch the marketplace. That's the main marketplace, which is Atomic Assets. At the time when you first bought these packs, you couldn't even, the only marketplace was Simple Assets, and you couldn't even filter by price. So if you wanted to buy an NFT on the secondary marketplace, you would have to scroll through every single page of your search results before you decided. So you had like a notepad and you'd have to write it down, and they didn't have mint numbers. That was something that the community actually ended up like implementing. Pack rips. It was a very unique ecosystem. I think that what's interesting is for him to say that now, because I think personally, we're going to see a resurgence of wax. I think we'll see, these secondary chains that kind of, lost a lot of the luster when everybody was focused on, how do I turn $20 into 20 million, with every NFT that I buy. And I think a lot of people are looking for fun, and projects like Goblin Town are a really good example of how, you give something for free, the community likes it, and they can run with it, and they can really breathe life. You bring up the chart. What happened with wax, I think ultimately was that, it's not super decentralized, right? And the people who effectively run that chain just don't, I feel like, put enough resources behind like launching these projects and keeping them updated and innovative, right? Like the primary secondary marketplaces, it's a decent experience, but not excellent. So yeah, we'll see. But I really do think we'll see a resurgence in these secondary, like people want to have fun again. And I think like that's what like this should be about, and I think that is one of the things we'll get out of this market.
Let's say a bull market's, happening in July. Like we get a little bit of a turn, macro environments are a little bit better. What chain are you tying your bag to there? Like if you had to choose one, you guys threw out a bunch, and I know you don't want to throw any FUD out there, but you have to choose one. What's the chain you're choosing if that does happen?
I think I'd probably run with Solana. Like I think we've seen like what Solana can do, like how, the community has really like stood behind it, even though, it's had some issues, right? Like they've had issues when large mints happen where the chain gets bogged down and they've had to do some stuff. But I do think that like and this is me, you guys know, I don't play with like tokens. I'm not the type of dude who's like out here like swapping coins and things like that. But I do look at them every once in a while, and I do know that Solana is down a pretty decent amount from like the last time I looked at it. So that's probably where I would jump in. You know what I mean? Like I think like Solana's got a lot of like upside to it, and I think it was like $60 when I looked at it last time. So geez, yeah, 200. I mean, Solana's got room, right? So not financial advice per Easy's t-shirt, but that's probably where I'm looking at.
I think that's a pretty good call, probably. I actually need to get a little more into Solana because I've been on the peripheries for a while. slowly stacking a little in these dips. Um, and I think I just recently got my first NFT on Solana. Um, so that's something I'm definitely looking at. But like if we really see the turnaround and bear market coming in, I've always kind of had my main spot on ETH, which I have, just very strong faith that that is going to be one of the long-term granddaddies. It's not going anywhere. So even though I want to get more into Solana, if we have one choice, I'm just going to say granddaddy Ethereum.
And I second both my co-hosts' opinions. Definitely bullish on Solana, but if you're going to twist my arm, I'm going to do Ethereum. I think it is obviously a little more cost prohibitive for most people, but I'm also very bullish on the merge and ZK rollups, Arbitrum, all these side chains, including Polygon. I consider it a side chain of Ethereum. Um, it's a no-brainer. I think that's where most of the value is going to be for some time.
I'm choosing Polygon. That's all I was gonna say there. So Polygon would be mine. I like what they're doing, especially in the gaming environment as well. They actually locked in a pretty big announcement here recently, and they brought over the head of, I believe, YouTube Gaming as well. I think that was an announcement made a couple months ago. So yeah, really excited for all the chains you guys mentioned.